Hello Aries, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Souls 1111. So I've got I'm doing all the astro readings today. Today is fire signs and Aries. This one's for you. We're going to have a look at what's happening in your connection. How's the divine feminine faring in the energies at the moment? Masculine on the right, connecting energies down the middle. We're going to look at how each of you is thinking and feeling and what you need to do to move forward. So if your moon, rising or Venus is in Aries, you know, this reading may also apply to you, but it is a collective reading. It's not going to resonate for everyone, so don't try and make it fit. Just take what works to you, leave what doesn't. So let's get a significator for each of you first, and also a connecting energy. Divine, wow. We've got the divine masculine on the left for the feminine. And we've got love for the divine masculine. Let's see what the connecting energy is. The garden. So this is beautiful. This is about everything growing and coming into bloom. These are very auspicious cards so far. Let's see what's going on for the feminine. I'm going to use the Moonchild Tarot. So I'm going to get all the cards out first and then we can see the full picture. What's happening in the connection for the divine feminine? We've got the Ace of Pentacles. We've got the Magician reversed. And we've got the Queen of Wands. I'm just going to check that they're in shot and you can see them. Just about, that'll do. Just inch them in a tiny bit. How's she thinking and feeling? Two of Swords in reverse. The Empress in reverse, that's interesting. And the King of Swords in reverse. And what does she need to do to move forward? We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got the Moon in reverse. And we've got the Four of Swords in reverse. Right, I'm going to use the Muse Tarot for the masculine. What's happening for him within the connection? What are the energies surrounding the masculine at the moment? Oh. We've got the Magician upright, so that's interesting. A feminine's got it reversed. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. We've got the Knight of Cups reversed. How's he thinking and feeling? We've got the Empress reversed. We've got the Page of Swords reversed. And we've got the Nine of Swords reversed. What does he need to do to move forward? We've got the Two of Cups. We've got the Three of Wands. And we've got the Four of Wands. Wow, this is really powerful. I'm going to use the Way of the Panda for the connecting energies down the middle. Oh, 3 cards, let's keep them. The Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Page of Cups in reverse, and the Sun. These are really interesting energies. So let's start with the divine feminine, who is in this divine masculine energy. And I feel like with the Empress reverse, you know this, you know, your energy is slightly out of alignment. But I feel like you've stepped into this masculine energy because you're just trying to take control. You're trying to regroup and get control of the journey for yourself again. So, you know, this is probably in response to these powerful 10-10 energies and this Aries full moon, which of course would have been particularly big for you. And also to remember that Aries, if you're a divine feminine, Aries is the sign of the emperor of the divine masculine. It is very masculine energy. And so with that moon, that big Aries full moon, this is no surprise that you've been, you know, pushed into this very driven, controlled, action-oriented energy. Interestingly, you've also got the Queen of Wands here for the divine feminine, which is Pisces, Aries energy. And we've also just had the Pisces full moon just before. But the Queen of Wands, you know, Pisces is feminine energy. And so I feel like, you have this awareness of bringing those energies into balance, that even though you're very action oriented right now, and the energies of this full moon have pushed you forward, this really is a beautiful new start for you. But you need to balance this out. There's probably been a desire to take control and take action, but also an undercurrent of not quite being sure of how to do that. The Magician reverse suggests that you're just not sure how to manifest what you need and want. So, for this Divine Feminine, little bit wobbly, not as much so as I've seen some of the other signs so far. Just to, reassure you, these are very tough energies we're dealing with right now. And, Aries, you are strong. The moon is in your sign, and this is going to be such a challenging time for you. But I feel like you're embracing this new beginning. You're charging forward, taking control with your spiritual self. You need to bring your 3D stuff back into balance. So what I'm seeing here is that there is an imbalance that needs to be addressed. And there's something to do with truth surrounding this, because there's a lot of blue in this card and some purple. This is intuitive truth that you've somehow felt disconnected from. The masculine is in love. This is a really powerful card, but I also feel that he's facing the love, but he might be turning his back on you. That's what we see happening here. This figure is looking forward at the love, but he perhaps she has turned his back on you. And we've got the Magician upright for the masculine, which is really about focusing on what is. It's about focusing on the 3D stuff and bringing that into balance. So with the Seven of Pentacles, he's really diligent in doing that. This is such an interesting card. In this Seven of Pentacles, we've got the light and dark here, and this lady moving along this path, tending her roses. She's focused on the path and the job in hand. She's not looking forward at where she's going. And, this is what your masculine's doing. He's focused on the present, here and now, and investing and working on, what needs to be done. This is a card about patience, about sowing the seeds and knowing you're going to have to wait for the harvest, but of being focused on nurturing the present energies. And, with the Knight of Cups reversed, this could mean that there's been some kind of him pulling back or separation between you, that he's not communicating, because this is a very intense realization. I think the connecting energy here is very reassuring. Even though things may seem out of balance, you need to trust that there's beautiful growth happening right now, that things really are being brought into bloom, into balance and harmony. There's a lot of trees here. These energies are being grounded. This garden is being nurtured. So that, you can begin to enjoy it. So you can trust that even though things might not appear to be going the way you want or need them, that in the background, bubbling under the surface, all the right things are happening. So even though your masculine may have pulled back, he's very focused on his own journey of bringing himself back into balance. He is acknowledging these very intense feelings for him. And this is why he's turned his back on you, because that's quite frightening. That's quite scary. And he needs time to work with this. We've got the Page of Pentacles as the connecting energy. This can be about messages, apologies. This is a very nurturing energy. But I feel like, again, in reverse, that perhaps both of you are holding back at this stage. The Divine Feminine is certainly very focused on her own new beginning and independence. She's all fired up to bring herself back into balance and control. So trust that this separation serves you. In terms of how we're feeling, I do feel like the Divine Feminine is very indecisive. And with the Empress in reverse, she knows that she's out of balance. She's somewhat conflicted. She's not sure how to move forward. And she knows that she's out of balance with her Empress energy. But there feels a strong need right now. It's obviously very comforting for you to just to take control and start making decisions about your 3D life. You're not taking your eyes fully off the journey, but you're definitely focusing on what is externally, just to bring yourself that balance and peace right now, because perhaps the journey has become quite stressful, especially if he's rejected you. And for some of you, there may have been an expression of love from you to him, and he's not reciprocated, but you have to trust that he's received that and he's feeling it also. And this is where it comes back to faith. This person is your twin. they're not going to go anywhere. And, you know, when you start to look at it from that perspective, it can be very comforting to understand that how they behave in the 3D isn't a true reflection of what is. You're connected at the soul level. So, you know, what happens in the 3D is just an illusion. It's not the truth. But he feels that love. He's certainly feeling it in the astral planes and, you know, connecting with it in a powerful way. But he's turning his back because the intensity of it is quite overwhelming, and he's very focused on his 3D reality and isn't ready to make an offer or express that love. But the Divine Feminine has definitely been very conflicted, probably triggered a lot of self-doubt. Again, this is a theme within the collective. And you're aware that your Empress energies, that your ability to create and manifest has kind of been, shall we say, just kind of disturbed or disrupted. You're being asked to have a bit of a word with yourself here. I feel like you've kind of, you know, with the King of Swords in reverse, you've cut off communication and you know, refused to discuss this with not just him, but others perhaps as well. You know, and that's Aries energy. I get that it's, you know, there's a lot of pride with Aries energy, a lot of fire and passion and stuff, but also a lot of pride. And so, you know, one of your responses may have been to feel that you're not ready to talk about this or to address it or to have that mature conversation. So the Divine Feminine is certainly feeling somewhat, you know, closed off, conflicted, aware that she's not in her Empress and kind of, you know, creative. She's not in her own power, but she's not ready to kind of face that and seek the support or, you know, to have a conversation about it as yet. In terms of how the masculine is feeling, you know, these are all reversed for him as well. So there's a lot of blocked energies for you here. And he is also feeling, and it's so interesting that you've got the Magician, both of you, with the Empress underneath. He's got the Magician upright. Yours is reversed. You've got the Empress underneath. This is really powerful. You know, he's focused on his the tools he has to deal with his 3D reality. But, you know, he's definitely rejecting, at least from a 3D perspective, facing this love and this connection. We've got the Page of Swords here. He's not ready to talk about it. He's not ready to come forward with any communication. This is affirmed here with the Page of Cups energy in reverse, which connects both of you. Neither of you is feeling particularly loving or wanting to come towards it. I feel like there's been a conversation that, you know, the Divine Feminine might be pissed off that he's not reciprocated or offered her any reassurance, and so she's closed down and started focusing on herself. This is very stubborn Aries energy, and he's also done the same. It could be that you're both Aries or both you know, got a lot of Aries in your chart, but he is kind of feeling a lot less anxious in himself, that actually, you know, if you have communicated this loving truth to him, it has actually managed to relieve some of his anxiety. It's made him feel a bit more secure and stable. So he is bringing himself back into balance. He's starting to confront things, but he's not feeling like he's ready to communicate about it either. He doesn't feel equipped to have that mature conversation, and he's really uncertain about how to move forward because he's just been triggered so very hard, is what I'm getting. You know, this is I feel like this guy might have been a commitment phobe most of his life. You know, that fear of rejection, fear of loss runs deep. It probably goes back to childhood. He may have lost a parent or, you know, not had a strong supportive parental dynamic, which has, you know, left him feeling very apprehensive in most relationships. The relationships we have with our parents really sets the tone for how we feel about intimate relationships with others later in life. And I feel like this guy has a lot of trauma in his history that makes, you know, really close, intimate relationships very different. And him feeling that love just makes him feel so, so vulnerable. So you mustn't take this personally that he's backing away right now. In terms of what you need to do to move forward, Divine Feminine, we've got the 8 of Cups. You know, you need to focus on your own journey and that inner work. And I feel like you know this. You're just, at the moment, you're just wobbling a little bit. The moon is asking you to stop wanting this knowing. You know, part of moving forward in this journey is connecting with your own higher intuition and accepting that it's enough to know that everything's going to be okay. You don't have to know the details of how things are are going to work out. You know, that's not going to be revealed all at once. And if you've been watching a ton of readings just to kind of, you know, get some clarity, I just need to know what's going to happen, because that's where you're getting your comfort from. Again, you're looking outside of yourself, externally into the 3D, for the information that you really need to go within for. And we've got the Four of Swords reverse here, which is saying, you know, get out of your head and into your heart space. Connect with your own intuitive self. This is about getting back into your Empress energy, your divine feminine energy, and trusting that path forward, even though it may seem unclear or uncertain. You know, with the moon, it's about taking steps in the dark, even though everything isn't fully illuminated, and trusting that you can find that way forward. For the masculine, this is a really powerful lineup. We've got 2, 3, 4, a beautiful progression. And a big part of this is the Two of Cups. It's called emotions in this deck. And we see him swimming deep in it, you know, of really connecting on a deep emotional level. And I really feel like he's being asked to acknowledge this love, to just allow it to flow, and to embrace, you know, fulfillment, to embrace this opportunity to move forward. This is such an interesting card for the Three of Wands, because I normally see this as fulfillment, as your ships having come in and docked at the harbour, so you can really realise the benefit of your decisions and investments. But in this card, we see this domino effect. And you know, it's just allowing it joyfully to unfold, to embracing what is, to understand that it's moving forward in that direction now. And he just needs to kind of settle into that energy. Once that first domino's flipped, it's just going to move forward. And I think this is what's kind of happened here. There's no going back with this loving emotion. And so he just needs to allow it now. He needs to step into that energy and allow this fulfillment to unfold for him. The Four of Wands, of course, is a really powerful 20 card. You know, this is about allowing union, allowing connection, allowing yourself to move back into balance and harmony. And for this to be a progression, you know, it really is a step-by-step process. Allow your emotions, connect with your counterpart, and allow yourself to be vulnerable, to go deep with those emotions, allow those emotions to flow, and then just wait for that beautiful inspiration and fulfillment to unfold for you, so that you can have this balanced, harmonious union. You deserve it. You can trust in it. And, you know, you've already released a lot of anxiety. I know you're not ready to face it yet, but, you know, the connecting energy here is the Sun. And this is asking you to just try and approach this with a lot more joy, optimism and playfulness, to embrace, you know, that the energies moving forward for you guys are really joyful and optimistic. Things are going to be illuminated that weren't before. And Divine Feminine, this is what you really want. You want, you know, the path to be illuminated and clear, but by bringing yourself back into balance and just allowing things to unfold in a very natural way, allowing yourself to be calm, optimistic and faithful, is going to bring you the clarity you're looking for. Remember, when the seas are still, you can see for miles. Everything is clear. When the waters are choppy and raging, you can't see what's happening. And so this desire to know and see and have clarity is born of these choppy waters you're stuck in. When you get back into your feminine energy, holding your power, holding your space, you're gonna get a lot more clarity. You're gonna get a lot more reassurance in this journey. So let's get some oracle cards as well. What's going to happen moving forward? What do you need to know the most? Romance. Wow. For the masculine, we've got look to your inner strength. The connecting energy is embrace your emotions. Move on. Communication. Choice. And we're going to get a surrender card for you as well. What are you letting go of at the moment that you need a little reminder of? Surrender worry. Surrender to your full power. And surrender to the beauty of the natural world, which is so powerful given that the gardens come up for you guys as a connecting energy. So Divine Feminine, what I'm getting is you need to breathe deep and move on from the kind of the worry and, you know, the inner conflict and this ruminating that you've been punishing yourself with. It says lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. And I feel like this is also 7, it's a divine number, because he's not reciprocated in the way you've wanted to. You've pulled back, and that's not loving unconditionally. The whole point of surrender is to get to a point where you can love unconditionally without needing that reciprocation. And unconditional love still requires boundaries, but I don't feel like your boundaries have been dramatically crossed here. He's just not ready to embrace his emotions and to face this yet. But it doesn't mean he doesn't care, and you've taken it very personally and pulled back. And you're being asked to move on from that feeling, to breathe deeply through spirit, and to reconnect with your own higher intuition, to stop worrying. This says make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body, focus on the power of your heart, and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. And I feel like this is why you've stepped into the divine masculine energy. You know, masculine energy is very logical, very unemotional, very controlled, and very stable. And this, you know, because you are an Aries, this obviously helps you come back into balance and helps you feel strong and powerful again. But you know, it's also firmly in kind of, you know, the masculine is much more deeply, focused on the logical, rational mind. And you're being asked to step into your spiritual heart space. You know, you need to move back into your feminine energy and commit to not allowing this anxiety to create any more distractions for you. You need to let it go, and you do that through breathing deep, through meditation. The masculine's being asked to remember he's stronger than he thinks he is. He needs to look to his inner strength. He needs to communicate. You know, this is what's going to bring him balance, harmony, and reassurance, is to communicate. And I feel that he's moving towards that. He really is. He's moving towards getting into his full power. You're both moving in the right direction, but communication is going to be key. He's definitely being called to step into his power. It says here, rather than playing small. You know, he's not trusted himself to make a decision, to come forward, to be honest. But you're both being asked to embrace your emotions and to allow these feelings to come to the surface and be accepted. And, you know, there might be a battle here between head, heart, and soul, but you need to make a decision, and the decision needs to be just to allow your feelings and to surface and be accepted. Embrace your emotions. This is coming for you guys. It's decision time. This indecisiveness that you've been stuck in divine feminine is coming to a close. You're going to make a decision, and it's going to be the right one. It does say here, this surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break. Spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and ecstasy there. And of course, you've got the garden here. You know, might be how you two connect. And it might be worthwhile, you know, taking yourself outdoors, reconnecting with your grounding in this earthly plane, connecting to, you know, the nature of all that is around you. This is where you can draw incredible power and strength from, that's going to help you feel a lot more balanced. If this is something you can do to get together, all the better. It may be that you're into gardening or walking or, you know, something like that. Final card. Emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. So you really need to let go of this. You know, that this is for both of you, but he's holding on to resentment that's from the past. This is from past pain. But right now, I feel like the divine feminine is holding on to the resentment for him, that he's not reciprocating, he's not doing what she wants. But you know, that's conditional loving. That's not where you want to be. You need to release anxiety and have faith that this is going to be okay. He feels so deeply for you, but he needs time to step into his power, to communicate and connect with his emotions and inner strength. He's on the right track, and everything's looking good for you guys with this Sun card, but you just need to trust. So I really hope that was helpful, Aries. Please do like, share and subscribe. Comment down below and let me know what you think. So I really love to hear your feedback. It's really empowering for me to know that my readings have resonated for you. If you'd like a private reading, you can find my web address down in the description box. It's happysouls1111.com. You can also join us for a free guided meditation on self-love and surrender this evening. I'll be posting the link on Zoom, so do come along. You're very, very welcome. So I'll be posting the Zoom link, in the Facebook group, so you need to join my networking group. It doesn't look very twinny from the outside looking in, so if you're nervous about people knowing you're on this journey or snooping, it just looks like a spiritual community. My website isn't that twinny. I do mention twin flames on it, but it's also about spirituality. So, no one's judging you. Do come and join us. You'll get so much support over there. It really is powerful to connect with other divine feminines. We rise by lifting each other. So hopefully I will see you there. Lots and lots of love. See you next time.